Time is moving on, and we're in the month of August, the 5th biblical month, known by others the month of Av. A-V is the spelling. This is the month prior to the fall feast that will be starting in September, which is the feast of Yehovah and not the feast of the Jews. These instructions, these feasts were given by Yehovah to his people. And we'll have more about that as time comes on. Now we're still in the beginning. We're in Genesis, the foundation book that teaches us about the Hebrew culture, their instructions, and laws that was not written down, but clearly they have been following some laws, and Moses would come in and write everything down. And we will understand more as we continue. Welcome to Torah Chat Points. My name is Patrice Robinson with Reconcile with the Kingdom, where we're working towards becoming a harmony of the whole word of truth. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below, like, comment, and share this video as a way of you showing your support. Now we're going through the significant events of Genesis chapters 34 to 36. Chapter 34. This chapter gives you a brief glimpse of Israel, Jacob's daughter, Dinah, which is by Leah. This chapter tells you more that she began to associate herself with the daughters of the land. And I'm pretty sure the reason is because, hey, we got all these men and there's not that many women around. So she decided to explore the land. This also, an issue also came up because she did this decision. She experienced a traumatic event by being raped by Shechem, the son of Hamor. He was smitten by her and he wanted to marry her. So this really didn't sit well with the brothers, that you take advantage of my sister and now you want to marry my sister. You know, that order did not sit right with the brothers. The fathers had made they began to have a discussion, and Shechem wants to marry her, so they started having that discussion, and he was willing to give gifts so he could marry Dinah. Shechem father offered these gifts as a tradition, is what happens for marriages. However, the brothers, unannounced to Jacob, Israel, had their own plan. And so they came up with this plan, said, hey, if you want to join in with us, you have to be circumcised, and then we can become one people. And so Shechem and his father Hamor agreed to it because he was smitten by Dinah and wanted to marry her. So all the male in the town got circumcised. Now by the third day, they became easy prey. So Simeon and Levi, those two took advantage of the men on the third day and killed all the men and took the wealth of the town. As you notice, this did not sit right with Jacob, Israel, that this situation had occurred, because what about the other natives, the neighboring communities? You know, they may decide to basically cause a war because of your decision, and basically they put the family at rest. When it sounds like to me Israel was going to allow his daughter to go ahead and get married, and all of this probably wouldn't have occurred with them killing them, but they did. Chapter 35. Yehovah calls Jacob, Israel, back to Bethel, the place where he vowed a vow and anointed the pillar. This is back in Genesis 31:13. Before Jacob, Israel, leave, he wanted to clean house. So he called everyone to repentance and to let go of their idols, purify themselves, and change their garments into, a whole cleansing of the household. Yehovah gave them a safe path. Yehovah gave them a safe pathway and caused the fear of them amongst the people that they were safely doing the journey. And I'm assuming that is a good thing after what Simeon and Levi did in chapter 34. As they journeyed, Rachel gave birth to her second son, Benjamin. Unfortunately, she passed away, giving birth of Benjamin. So Jacob really lost the love of his life. Now that Simeon and Levi did their issues and caused their troubles, and here we have Reuben coming in doing things on his own too. What he decided to do is he lied with Jacob's, Israel's, one of the concubines. So one of the brothers' mother, he lied with her. The end of this chapter, we find out that Jacob visits his father, and unfortunately Isaac passed away at the age of 180 years old. Both Esau and Jacob buried their father. They came together to bury their father. So remember, we're following the bloodlines. Abraham, Isaac. Abraham passed away. Isaac passed away. Now we have Esau and Jacob at this point. Chapter 36. This chapter goes in very great detail of the bloodline of Esau, the Edomites, the chiefs, the dukes, and all this kingship. The Edomites were the first ones who began to set up for kingship when it comes to the Hebrew people. I'm not saying it's a good thing or bad thing. I'm just saying I noticed out of the Hebrew people, Esau bloodline starts setting up the kingships. So that's what they began to do. Now, the first two chapters I wanted to say is that they laid the foundation of the prophecy that Israel, Jacob, gives to the children at his deathbed. Now, I didn't want to go too far up into that because there's more things to go through before we get there. So I kind of wanted to take a step back in the Torah. I'm going to go back to Genesis chapter 10. And today's focus would be on the Edomites. And one would ask, why the Edomites? Well, because the Edomites still are from the bloodline of Abraham. So this is still his bloodline that is growing. Some would try to connect the Edomites to the Romans. Now, I try to figure out why would the Romans or people want to connect Edomites to the Romans? And it's probably because the Edomites are still the Hebrew people. They're from the bloodline of Shem. And a lot of people want to be in their bloodline, and so they try to connect them there. So today we're going to view the map of the nations, and we're going to take a look at where everyone landed after the flood. The first thing you should think about is, where did Noah's Ark land after the water descended? If you turn to Genesis chapter 8, verse 4, it says, then in the 7th month, Genesis 8 and 4 says, then in the 7th month, on the 7th day of the month, the ark rested upon the mountains of Ararat, which is modern day Turkey. So I'm going to put up this map, the maps of nations, chapter 10, and you can look at chapter 10 as we do a little glimpse of this map. So this map gives you the foundation of where everyone migrated from after the flood. As you know, the Romans are European, and they're not from Syria, which is where Abraham is from. And his sons are all descended from him, and so on, is from that part of the map, from Syria. And Abraham is from the bloodline of Shem, which is the eldest son of Noah. So I didn't see the Romans connected. If you look at the top right, I see Ashkenaz, and that is from Japheth. I don't see any Romans connection to the Edomites. Remember, the Edomites are from Esau, which is from Isaac, which is from Abraham. So they're all Hebrew people. So if you found somewhere in the Bible where the Romans are connected to the Edomites from somewhere, share that information, comment below, or let me know. But I have been doing my research and I have not seen that connection. And of course, everyone is not correct, but I have not seen that connection. Just let me know if you found that connection. As always, man does not live by bread alone, but lives by every word that comes from the mouth of Yehovah, which speaks of his son Yeshua. Next week, our reading will come from Genesis 37 through 39. Have a blessed rest of the week. And join me on Saturday at 10 a.m. for the Sabbath day, and next Tuesday at 7 o'clock p.m. for Torah Chat Points. Thank you.